"I brought my son, is that okay?" The single mom asked on a blind date. What the CEO did is unthinkable. Sarah's hands trembled as she typed the message that could end everything before it even began. "I need to tell you something," she wrote to Marcus, the man she was supposed to meet in 20 minutes. "My babysitter canceled last minute. I have to bring my son with me. I understand if you want to reschedule or cancel." She stared at her phone, watching the 3 dots appear and disappear, her heart sinking with each passing second. This was it. Another promising connection about to crumble because she came as a package deal. Her 7-year-old son, Jamie, sat on the couch behind her, his backpack already on, his favorite dinosaur book tucked under his arm. He didn't know this was supposed to be a date. He thought they were just going to dinner, and Sarah's heart ached knowing she might have to disappoint him again. Tell him they'd stay home and order pizza instead. If this story touches your heart, please hit that like button, drop a comment below sharing your thoughts, and subscribe to Kindness Pulse for more inspiring stories that celebrate compassion and humanity. Your support means everything to us. The reply came through just 2 words. "Of course." Sarah blinked at the screen, rereading it 3 times to make sure she understood correctly. No hesitation, no excuses, just simple acceptance. She grabbed her purse and Jamie's hand, her mind racing as they headed to the restaurant, an upscale Italian place downtown that suddenly felt too fancy, too formal for a 7-year-old with scraped knees and an obsession with velociraptors. When they arrived, Sarah spotted Marcus immediately. He stood near the entrance, tall and composed in a tailored navy suit, his presence commanding yet somehow approachable. This was the successful CEO her friend had been raving about, the man who supposedly ran a tech company worth millions. Sarah's stomach churned with anxiety as she approached, Jamie's small hand gripping hers tighter with each step. "Marcus?" she said softly. And when he turned, his face broke into the warmest smile she'd seen in years. But what happened next made her freeze in place. Marcus didn't just acknowledge her. He crouched down, this man in his expensive suit, dropped to one knee right there in the restaurant lobby and extended his hand to Jamie at eye level. "You must be Jamie," he said with genuine interest, "and your mom told me you're the dinosaur expert in the family. I have to admit, I'm more of a T-Rex guy myself, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on which dinosaur was actually the coolest." Jamie's eyes went wide, his shyness evaporating as he launched into an enthusiastic explanation about why velociraptors were vastly superior to any other prehistoric creature. Marcus listened, truly listened, nodding thoughtfully, asking follow-up questions, treating this 7-year-old's opinions with the same respect he probably gave to business executives in boardrooms. The hostess led them to their table, and Sarah noticed something that made her breath catch. Marcus had clearly called ahead. Where she'd expected a romantic table for 2, there was now a spacious booth with crayons, a coloring book featuring dinosaurs, and a special kids menu already waiting. Throughout dinner, Marcus never once made Jamie feel like an inconvenience or a third wheel. He split his attention naturally between them, engaging Jamie in conversation about school, his favorite subjects, and his dreams of becoming a paleontologist, while also making Sarah feel seen and valued in a way she hadn't experienced since her divorce 3 years ago. When Jamie accidentally knocked over his juice, Sarah's instinct was to apologize profusely, to clean up quickly, to minimize the disruption. But Marcus simply flagged down a server with a calm smile, helped wipe the table himself, and then seamlessly continued their conversation as if nothing had happened. "These things happen," he said easily. "I once spilled an entire cup of coffee on my laptop during a board meeting. At least juice doesn't damage electronics, right, Jamie?" As the evening progressed, Sarah found herself relaxing in a way she hadn't thought possible. She'd spent the last 3 years convinced that dating as a single mom meant constantly apologizing for her reality, always feeling like she had to choose between her son and her own happiness. But Marcus was showing her a different possibility, one where she didn't have to choose at all. When dessert arrived, Jamie was getting sleepy, his head bobbing as he tried to stay awake through his chocolate cake. Marcus noticed immediately. "Hey, buddy," he said gently. "Would it be okay if I borrowed your mom for just a minute?" Jamie nodded drowsily, and Marcus gestured for Sarah to step aside with him briefly. They stood near the restaurant's window, the city lights twinkling behind them, and Marcus's expression turned serious but kind. "Sarah," he began, his voice low and sincere, I want you to know something. When you texted me about bringing Jamie, I wasn't just being polite. I was grateful." Sarah's eyebrows lifted in surprise, and Marcus continued, his words carefully chosen. "I've been on a lot of dates where people present a version of themselves that isn't quite real. But you? You showed me the truth from the start. You showed me what matters most to you, and that tells me everything I need to know about who you are." He paused, glancing back at Jamie, who was now fully asleep at the table, his head resting on his arms. That little boy is lucky to have a mom who puts him first. And honestly, any man who can't see that isn't worth your time. I'm just hoping I might be someone who could be worth it, for both of you. Sarah felt tears pricking her eyes, overwhelmed by the sincerity in his words. She'd spent so long believing her reality as a single mother made her less desirable, less worthy of romance and partnership. But standing here with Marcus, she realized the truth. The right person wouldn't see Jamie as an obstacle. The right person would see their bond as something beautiful, something to embrace rather than work around. "I don't know what to say," she whispered. Marcus smiled that warm smile again. "You don't have to say anything tonight. But maybe we could do this again? Same time next week?" And Jamie's absolutely invited. Before they left, Marcus did something that would stay with Sarah forever. He gently woke Jamie and told him how much he'd enjoyed meeting him, how he hoped they could hang out again soon. Then he pulled out a business card and wrote something on the back before handing it to Jamie. "This is my personal number," he said seriously. "If you ever have a dinosaur emergency, like if you discover new facts about velociraptors, you can text me anytime." The ride home was quiet, Jamie dozing in the back seat, Sarah's mind replaying every moment of the evening. When they got home and she was tucking Jamie into bed, he stirred slightly and mumbled, "Mom, I like Marcus. He's nice." Sarah kissed his forehead, her heart full in a way it hadn't been in years. "Me too, sweetheart. Me too." Later, as she sat alone in her living room, Sarah looked at her phone. Marcus had sent a text. "Thank you for tonight. For trusting me with what matters most to you. Sweet dreams to you both." She typed back, her fingers steady now, her fear replaced with hope. "Thank you for seeing us. Really seeing us." Before we wrap up this beautiful story, if it moved you even a little bit, please take a moment to like this video, share your own experiences or thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. And subscribe to Kindness Pulse so you never miss another heartwarming story that reminds us what truly matters in life. 3 months later, Sarah and Marcus sat at that same restaurant, celebrating what had become their special place. Jamie was with them again, not because the babysitter canceled, but because this had become their tradition. Every Sunday, the three of them had dinner together, and slowly, carefully, they were building something none of them had expected, but all of them needed. Marcus had never tried to replace Jamie's father or force his way into their lives. Instead, he'd simply shown up consistently and genuinely, proving through actions rather than words that love doesn't divide. It multiplies. And Sarah had learned the most important lesson of her life, that she never had to make herself smaller or hide the most important parts of her world to be worthy of love. The right person wouldn't ask her to choose. The right person would choose them both.